More fallout from the huge collective bargaining battle in Wisconsin. The Journal-Times of Racine reports that the county jail will have inmates mowing lawns, painting, and shoveling snow. Collective bargaining used to mean that was off limits, and it's not just Wisconsin doing it. Joining me now is Alex Seitz-Wald, a blogger for thinkprogress.org. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me, Chris.
So obviously the argument for this is it gives the inmates a sense of value. They're doing something. It frees up employees to do other more important jobs. So what's the controversy?
Well, this sort of confirms some of the worst suspicions that we had about Scott Walker's bill, this anti-union bill that created a lot of protests and a lot of discussion, which is that it's not just about cutting costs, but it's sort of a direct attack on public employees and public employee unions. And we're now seeing in Racine County, they're replacing unionized workers. These are good-paying jobs with that people could retire on with free labor. And I think it could be a problem for inmates in the long run because it creates a dangerous precedent where you're setting up a perverse incentive where the state may count on inmate labor to do things that should be performed by law-abiding citizens who are being paid a decent salary.
And it isn't just in Wisconsin. A number of states are doing this. In Florida, inmates are doing lawn maintenance. They're tending graveyards in Georgia, clearing roadkill in New Jersey. They're painting the cells in Ohio, on and on. So is there a sense that this is going to be happening more? Look, the budget concerns for state governments are not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's been prison labor for a long time in this country. In Florida, you mentioned where near Cape Canaveral, where the space shuttle program is now defunct. They're looking at it. And this is absolutely a trend as state budgets are cut and public employees are laid off. But I'm worried that once the economy recovers and the tax base recovers, we're not going to rehire these public employees. And this is exactly the wrong approach for what we should be doing in a down economy. I mean, we've been seeing month after month of strong or relatively strong private sector growth offset and undercut by losses in the public sector. So this conservative reaction to the recession of cutting government employees, cutting government funding is actually bringing down the economy, and that's the problem with this kind of thing.
Has there been any other backlash against this? I know there was this kind of a mini controversy last year in Ohio because some inmates were caught drinking on the job, and I'm wondering if there's any concern in communities where they're out doing the work. I mean, above and beyond that they may be doing jobs that previously were held by union employees.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a concern. In Maryland, there was a potential program to have inmates help catch crabs, but that was canned because of fears of food safety. But bigger than that, I'm concerned about the effect that this is going to have on the economy and in the local economies too, because inmates, they don't pay taxes, they don't shop in the local town, whereas public employees do. So you're seeing a hit to the tax base, and you're seeing a hit, to local businesses. That's not to say that inmates shouldn't be working, but there are places for them to work that won't affect the economy, won't affect public sector employment.
Very interesting story. Alex Seitz-Wald, thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Later today, former First Lady Betty Ford's remains will be flown to Michigan for burial next to her husband tomorrow. Former First Ladies Nancy Reagan, escorted by President George W. Bush, Hillary Clinton,